Yeah, Revan, I know, I heard. That one I've
Amber, did
heard.
you see the news of people freaking out that the black actress who played the Wicked Witch in Wicked is set to play Jesus Christ in a new Jesus Christ Superstar movie?
What? I'm sorry, fucking what? What? Are you fucking kidding me? Wait. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hang on, let us look at this. So Cynthia Erivo will star as Jesus in Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar, slated to run at the beginning of August at the Hollywood Bowl in LA. The role marks the Oscar nominees return to the stage a decade after. Okay, so it's a stage performance. Oh my god. She's no stranger to the material. She performed I Don't Know How to Love Him from an all-female album version of Jesus Christ Superstar titled She Is Risen. Someone put me back in the fridge. Fucking genius. I thought she was young as well. Isn't she I thought she was a young woman. Wait. Yeah, I thought she was a young woman. How old is she? She's 38? Really? Really? She looked younger in Wicked. This is a I'm sorry, Cynthia, but this is a rough-looking 38. Yo, no kidding makeup, but Jesus, without the makeup, this is a rough-looking 38. That, yeah, look at that. She looks younger in Wicked. She looks younger here than here. Yeah, the makeup really took some years off of her. So, so not only, so let me get this straight. Someone made the decision. Someone made the genius decision to not only race swap the lead role for a Broadway musical because DEI, they also decided to race swap one of the biggest religious figures in American history. Really. You don't think, yeah, race and gender. Yeah, like I forgot the Jesus. How can I forget the gender part? Um, yeah, yeah, Zeb, should they have? Now, point of fact, people like to say, oh, he should have been Middle Eastern. Point of fact, the people in ancient times when Jesus was, the historical timeline when Jesus was present actually looked more Caucasian than they do with modern Middle Eastern. That is fact. Back during the time of Jesus and before his birth, some what I've heard, they were not the skin tone was not as dark. It was more Caucasian or lightly tanned than the current ethnicity residing in the Middle East. Now, is this incorrect? Have I been told incorrectly? Greek? Okay, olive tone. Okay, sure. Okay, Greek olive tone. Fair, fair. Okay? They were dark. Okay, yeah. Okay, so olive toned, which is still not the same tone, which is still closer to Caucasian than the skin tones of people currently in the Middle East. Okay? It's still closer. However, they are casting an African American woman in the role of Jesus. Zeb, I can see, like, granted, realistically speaking, I don't partake of musicals, but I can see Christians having a big fucking issue with this. What? What did I do, Dragon? How do I deserve this? How do I deserve this? It's not a film, Durahan. It's a Broadway performance. This is not a film. This is a Broadway performance. I said the fridge, not the cage. Yeah, here's the thing about it. You're doing this, you're taking a Broadway, like if you wanted to do like an all-female cover of the music itself. Okay, like she partook in an all-female vocal cover as the musical. That's like okay, like that's reasonably okay. But when you are replacing the lead role of Jesus with a African American female, yeah, yes, she did do that prior. Correct. You are correct. Where was that? Hang on. Where'd it go? Yes, she did do that prior to this. She did this back in 2020. So she performed I Don't Know How to Love Him from an all-female album version of Jesus Christ Superstar. Audio track. She did that. That's fine. Doing like, doing an audio cover of it. People, like musicians of all types, do covers of other musicians' work. That's fine.
Despite all her rage, she is still a catgirl in a cage.
Despite all my rage, I'm still just a catgirl in a cage. I love Bullet with butterfly wings. But an audio version is not the same as Hollywood performance. Sorry, a Broadway performance. Okay? It is not the same thing. And again, it's going to piss off a large chunk of Christian and Catholic people. It's going to piss off a lot of them. That they're, I mean, I'm sorry. It's in the fucking title, the Son of God. It's in his title. I'm sorry, this is whoever made this decision, not a good idea. In the modern day times like this, in the current sociological climate of today, this was a bad idea. A seriously bad idea. Exactly. It's a lot of Christians and Catholics are going to take this as a literal slight against their religion. They're going to take this as like a slap against their religion, saying that, your religion that you hold dear means fuck all, and we're going to change the Son of God to an African American woman. But they're still going to have the name of Jesus. It is a bad fucking choice. Okay? This is a horrible fucking decision that will come back and bite them in the ass big time. And especially, like, I am not going to get political about it.
Cheer 100 frick around and find out.
Yeah.
Religion should be respected, not something you should tampered with. Cheer 100.
Like, I am not a religious person. Okay? This is coming from someone who is not a religious person. I don't like religion. Okay? I don't like religion at all. But I will still respect your right as the individual to practice whatever religion you wish to practice. So long as it does not inflict harm upon another, you can have whatever religious faith you wish to have, so long as you do not utilize it to harm others and you don't try and foist it upon me. Okay? This is coming from someone like myself. This? Oh, you can't say I've brought back up this article. This is a bad idea, particularly in today's social and political climate. Okay? I'm not going to get political. I don't like the politics, but this is going to get political. You are going to have a fuck ton of people out of the White House and on Capitol Hill that are going to be going fucking crazy over this. They will be going crazy about this. And we don't know what the end results of it might be. Okay? We don't know if this is going to trigger some kind of a reactionary thing in politics. So, that's why this is such a horrible fucking idea. Like, okay, Zeb, I appreciate that you as the individual see it as a non-issue and don't take it seriously. There are undoubtedly others that also, yeah, see it as a non-issue and don't take it seriously. On a personal level, I don't fucking care. The problem I have is I can see where this is going to lead to on a macro level. I can see what is going to happen on a macro level with this. And for the majority of the Christian population of America, this is going to piss off a lot of fucking people. And a big chunk of the people currently in power in the United States are Christian or Catholic. And it's going to piss them the fuck off. It's not a good idea to directly attack the religion of the people in power. And yes, this will be perceived as an attack. There's your problem. If this had been done, say, 20 years ago, if they had done something like this, say 20 years ago, people probably would not have batted an eye. No, Zeb, I'm saying that is how they will perceive it. Again, I'm looking at it from a vantage point of how it may very likely be perceived. Not what it is, but how it will be perceived. Keep that in mind. Okay, I'm looking at the potential perception of it. If this had been done 20 years ago, it would have actually been far more of a non-issue. 20 years ago, they could have done this and it would have been charming, or maybe a little bit quirky, or interesting. In the modern climate where this kind of thing is being shoved down people's throats, and people are tired of it. Horny and squirming right now, but I'm gonna notice when someone from my chat drops 4,000 biddies on me.
Cheer 1,000 people will always overreact to things. This is going to trigger so many people, it's not even funny.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I'm saying. When they've been having this kind of thing shoved down their throat for the last 10 years, yeah, it's going to trigger them. That's why I said if they had done this 20 years ago when this kind of issue was not where it is now, it would have probably been fine and people might have even called it interesting or quirky. It's like these people didn't read the fucking room.
It's going to be perceived and portrayed by conservative media as an attack on Christianity and conservative
Yes, it will.
values.
Yes,
I
it
can
will.
see the Daily Wire going ham over this. Cheer 100.
Not just not just like the Daily Wire or other, religious journalists, again in quotes. The people currently in power also claim to be devout religious people. And so they, even if they probably aren't, and so they will go crazy, to look good in front of their base. If anything, it at the bare minimum. At the bare minimum. What's another time that they've done this, Seb? I'm off the top of my head, I can't think of a time where a woman has portrayed Jesus in a play or movie. What's another time this has
Rome
happened?
had really good records and every record says Jesus was a he. Cheer 100.
Again, yes, it's in his fucking title, the Son of God. It's in the title. Yeah, exactly. The same play in 2017? On this really? Was it okay, Seb? Okay, I have a question. Actually, let's look up. Let's see. Okay, this is off Broadway. That's why. It was a single performance that took place at New York City's High Line Ballroom. That's why there wasn't a big deal made about it. And it was a concert. Okay. Hang on, hang the fuck on. I think it was a concert. Yeah, this is different. This is different. I mean, Seb, there could be other. Okay, quick question. You don't have to list other examples. Did these other examples take place prior to this event that you're referring to? Was it prior to 2017 that these events took place? Just out of curiosity. Okay, great, House. Yeah, that's my question. Did the previous instances of an all-female cast take place prior to 2017? No. I'm going by what I said earlier, that if this was done 20 years ago, nobody would care. That's why. Like, it's not moving goalposts. It's looking at it is looking at timelines. Because again, what I was saying is doing that in the current societal demographic, the current societal zeitgeist. Okay, that's fine. But that's what I'm saying. It's not moving goalposts. I'm not like moving any goalposts. Like I said earlier in what I was saying. If this had been done 20 years ago, it would barely be a blip. People would be fine with it because people were not so overly sensitized to this kind of thing being crammed down their throat all the time. And that's why I'm kind of wondering is like, okay, these other examples, in addition to this single performance 2016, I'm curious if it occurred prior to this. Blasted like, out the ass of the table. It completely blew its ass out. And yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing. Nothing. But Zeb, it's like how Tanashi was saying. There's a difference between a one-off performance and a like a Broadway musical doing multiple performance. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's that's the crux of it. Is like a one-off performance is different from multi-running performances like a Broadway musical, like a multi-performance Broadway musical, because this is only starting on the bowl whenever that's taking place. There's going to be multiple performances, so it is different contextually. It is different. And again, like the whole thing about like did it take place before? I was curious if it kind of like is kind of matching with my theory that if it had happened like 20 years ago, nobody would really care. So it's like I'm not moving any goalposts. I don't have any goalposts to frickin' begin with. I was just curious if it was matching with my theory that I had. That's all. I was curious if if it matched up with my theory. Like I have no goalposts on this. Like we can see what's happening here. And the fact that the fact that we haven't even heard about it, the fact that I never heard about the 2017, the single set 2017 performance, or any performances prior to it, with having an all-female cast, that's kind of the point. That's the point I'm making, is having having such a performance back then, like previously, 2017 or earlier. Yeah, well, yeah, but Zeb, that's the point I'm making of it. That's my point. Is that when it was done prior, we we didn't have this hypersensitivity to this kind of circumstance because this kind of thing was not getting crammed down our throats on a daily basis like it has been for the last umpteen years. That's the point that I'm making. Like, I'm tired of it too. I am tired of hearing about all the DEI shit. I am. But it is getting shot at as constantly where it's extremely difficult to avoid it. The point that I was trying to make is that the previous performances took place. The reason why nobody fucking knows about it and nobody caused an issue about it is because, from a societal standpoint, we were not in that place where this particular kind of issue. Yeah, well, like Sam, to that end, we are living in very polarizing times, and people are people are going into extremes on one side or the other. We are seeing, we are living in a societal age. We have been for the last 5 to 10 years, unfortunately, living in an age of societal extremes. And unfortunately, the more extreme people have the louder megaphones. And you know, yeah, it's that's what I'm saying. Is the people with the extreme viewpoints have the loudest megaphones, and we are also living in an informational age where we get inundated with this kind of thing. No matter the only way to avoid any of this at all is to go completely off grid. That's the only way. The only way to avoid hearing about any of this at all from anything is to go completely off grid, because we are inundated by all of this polarization, extreme viewpoints, bullhorn screaming. There's no, yeah, we are a society and we can't escape it. Unfortunately, like I am with you. I get tired of hearing about it. I do. It's one of the reasons why I haven't done many Rev videos as of late, because a lot of Rev's content is DEI. That's a lot of his content. It's why I've kind of avoided doing his content for Reacts, and why I've gone to trying to do more shit Or more shit. Jesus Christ, I'm cooked. More fun stuff. That's why I've tried to do more fun stuff versus doing, like, I used to do rev stuff a lot. I'm trying to move away from doing a ton of rev stuff. I will still cover some rev stories, but I'm trying not to do a rev story every day because it's exhausting and it's tiring.
Show love 500 anywho. Sorry for the trouble. Head pat head pat.
It's okay, Zed. It's conversation.
For
it's
me,
good
I am
it's
upset with their
engagement.
decision as a Christian myself, but I'm not going to go in a huge uproar. Unless they actively do something that actively and says they are attacking, that will be different. Cheer 100.
Fair point, Rubba. Yeah. And, it's not trouble, Zed. Like, I've said it before. This is why I stream. So I can have interesting, engaging, thought-provoking discussions with you guys. Okay? I love, getting my brain working and looking at issues and getting feedback from a different angle or from a different perspective that I can either go, I didn't consider that before, or I can have a civil discussion on where I basically defend my point, the other person defends their point. We have a back and forth discussing it. Keyword there, discussing, not arguing or screaming at one another. That's why I do it. That's part of the things I love doing on stream is having these mentally engaging and stimulating discussions. I love doing that. So don't apologize. It was no trouble, and I enjoyed it. I enjoy exercising my brain like this. Yeah. Couple days ago, but everything immediately got derailed by cyber. So I joke about Disney coming to a soon to a theater near you tangled live action starring Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, it sounds about right, Alex. That sounds about right.